What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. We're about to get into the Black Templar Index, just revisiting it now that we have a better handle on 10th edition. So that being said, let's just roll into it. So if you take the detachment, you can't take any psychers, and then don't worry about these restrictions here. They have their own variants of them later in this sheet that actually gives you more options than the regular ones. They're actually better. So then they have Templar vows. So at the start of the first battle round, select one of the four Templar vows below to be active for the units from your army until the end of the battle. So this is a little different than doctrines and stuff. You pick one of these and you have it for the whole battle. You can give all your melee weapons lethal hits. Models can have a 5 up field no pain and leadership of 5. You can have a 4 up invul save against psychic, and melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have a anti-psyker 4 plus. Really great into like Grey Knights or Thousand Suns. Accept any challenge. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the sustained hits 1. Alright, so you can give your whole army lethal hits or sustained hits on their melee weapons. You can give them a 6 up feel no pain and a 5 up leadership characteristic, or you can give them 4 up against invul against psychic and anti psyker 4 plus. So just some decent little options there. And it's just so you pick it and then you just have it for the whole game. I'm not sure if it's better than combat doctrines, but depending on how you tell your list, I'm not sure it's worst. So let's see what their strats are. Fervent Acclamation. Select one Templar vow that is not active in your army until the start of the next command phase. While that character is leading a unit, models in that unit gain the benefit of that vow in addition to a vow selected to be active. Alright, so you pick one character and his unit gets to have 2 vows. So that's actually really nice. We have Devout Push. Your opponent's shooting phase just after enemy is shot. One from your army that had one or more models destroyed. From that attack, you can make a normal move up to d6 inches, but must end that move closer to the enemy unit that just shot. If the Abhor the Witch, Destroy the Witch vow is active for your army, you make a move up to 6 inches instead, but must end the move either closer to the enemy unit that shot or closer to the enemy Psyker unit. Alright, that's okay. Movement phase. When an enemy unit, excluding vehicles monsters, is selected to fall back, one of your units in engagement range, roll a d6 on a 1 to the result. If they accept any challenge threat of the odds vows active for your army, when a 4 plus enemy unit cannot fall back and must remain stationary, otherwise they can fall back. Alright, so potentially make someone not be able to fall back, but if they do fall back, they have to take a death threat escape. So that's pretty cool. That can be very useful. Armor Contempt is the same. Vicious Riposte. One unit from your army that's selected as a target of one or more attacking units attacks. This is in the fight phase. Till the end time, each time a model is destroyed. If that model is not fought in this phase, roll a d6, adding 1 to the result if it falls honor. It's a 4 up fight on death, but you can get +1 if you're in the right vow. Crusader's Wrath. In the fight phase, till the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a melee attack, improve the AP of the characters by 1. And if you're in Suffer Not the Unclean, you can add +1 to the strength as well. Alright, so a lot of these have bonuses if you're in the right vow. This one's really nice. This one's situational okay. This one's not that big on. A fight on death that only happens on a 4 up kinda isn't as good as some of the other Marine ones that just auto get to fight on death. Armor Contempt. Armor Contempt's always decent. And then Crusader's Wrath. That's okay. So Stratagems are okay. There's one really nice one. The rest are just kind of okay. Then we got the enhancements. Perdition's Edge. Improve the strength and armor penetration characteristics of the bear's melee weapons by 1. If Suffer Not the Unclean, +1 to attack characteristics of the weapon as well. That's not that great. We see a lot of the ones where like they'll have like +1 strength attack, and then when the thing happens, you get +2 to each. This just gives you an additional attack on top of this. I mean, it's okay, but it's not as good as some of the ones the other Marines have. Then Sigsmund Seal, improve the attack characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons by 1. Both bearers leading a unit, if accept any challenge, no matter the vow is active, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack. 5 ups or critical hits. That's okay. If you put it on a unit that actually gets some benefit from critical hits, the +1 attack on him's just okay, but this, if you put it on the right units, that could be super strong. Then we got Witch Seeker Bolts. Bear's ranged weapons have precision, anti-psycho 4, devastating wounds ability. If a boy the witch is active, each time the bear makes a ranged attack the target psycho's unit, you can reroll the hit and reroll the wound. That could be really nice. Because you have precision and devastating wounds all the time. So even if you're not shooting a psyker on certain weapons, that's just really nice. Then we got Tannhauser's Bones. Each time attack is allocated to the bearer, half the damage characteristic. Those bearers lead a unit. If uphold the honor of the Emperor vow is active for your army, the unit have a 5-up feel no pain. Alright, so give your unit a 5-up feel no pain is nice, and then he also get half damage if anything does get allocated to him. Alright, and then we get Chaplain Grimaldus. He comes with 2 servitors. Plasma Pistol. Artificer Crozius, strength 6, negative 2 damage. Leading unit, each time the model unit makes a melee attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Alright, so his whole unit gets reroll hits. I think that's a pretty generic chaplain ability. Temple Relic, in your command phase, this unit contains 1 or more Cenobite servitors. Select one of the relics of the Emperor ability. Until the start of your next command phase, that unit has... So as long as you have one of your servitors alive, you can choose one of these each turn. Declare a charge in a turn in which advanced or fell back. If I have a feel no pain, improve AP if melee weapons equipped by 1. Alright. None of these abilities is amazing in and of itself. They're all okay. But the fact that you have the option each turn to choose, so now you're just always getting to put whatever is best for you in whatever situation. Grimaldus actually seems pretty solid. Stealth Intercessors, Infernus Squad, Intercessor, Primaris Crusader Squad, Primaris Sword Brethren. Alright, these bottom 2 might be good. These top 3 I'm not super sold on. We'll see what... I think the Primaris Sword Brethren are basically Blade Guard. And the Primaris Crusader Squad is... well, they're right here. Let's just look at them. Yeah, it's basically just Scouts and... Oh, this is a regular Crusader Squad. Scouts and just generic Marines. They have the pretty much regular loadouts those guys can take. Excuse me. So they basically just get reroll, advance, and charge. That's okay. Very generic. But they're battle line OC2, right? Yeah. So that's just a generic unit, but for a generic unit, they hit alright. We got High Marshal Halbrecht. Has Ferocity, which is anti-infantry 4 devastating wounds. So only 2 attacks with strength 5, neg 1, 2 damage. It has a Sword of the High Marshals. 12, 6, strength 6, strength 8, neg 3 on both. 1 damage, 3 damage. That's really nice profile. Good into big stuff, good into little stuff. Although strength 8 versus strength 6 isn't that big a difference. So even if you're swinging into a knight, you wound on 5s with this one, you wound on 6s with this one. But you're double the attack, so statistically, you get the same amount of wounds, so why not just swing the 12 and, especially got Oath on it, just see if you can get a little luckier. You got more chances. So I actually think you swing the one-handed in most situations. I don't really see, because it's double the attacks. It feels like if the strength was doubled, then I think it's more situational. But I think you just go with the 12 attacks all the time, honestly. Except for maybe some very niche situations. While this model's leading unit, add one of the strength characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. Each time attack is made with such a weapon, a modified hit roll of 5 up scores a critical hit. Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be 13 and 7. Say you're swinging a knight or something, you're winning on 5s here, but you're critical winning on 5s now with this anyway. Yes, with this rule here, as long as he's in a unit, I always swing the 13 attacks. At the start of the fight phase, select one enemy with an engagement range of this model's unit. Roll 1d6 on a 2 to 3, they suffer d3 mortals, 4 to 5, 3, and on a 6, d3 plus 3 mortals. And this isn't just when you charge or anything, this is just in the fight phase, just do mortals to people. That's really nice. Stealth Intercessor, Intercessor, Primaris Crusader Squad, Primaris Sword Brethren. Here's the Primaris Crusader Squad. So I'm not sure what you use for neophytes in these squads. These just look like assault, both look like assault intercessors to me. Unless they have a special kit with neophytes for crusaders, I'm not sure. Uh, so pretty. Oh, we got a neophyte firearm. Yeah, so pretty generic shots. These are just flamers. Yeah, this is a flamer and a heavy flamer. Well, I'm not sure why they changed the name of them, but it looks like just a flamer and a heavy flamer. They have a scout 6-inch move. That's pretty nice. They can roll advance and charge rolls. Yeah, another generic unit. Not super sold. Like, you have the two characters that can join them, but they can also join the Primaris Sword Brethren. So let's see if this is the better option. Heavy bolt pistol, plasma pistol, pyre pistol, mastercrafted power weapon, thunderhammer, twin lightning claw. So yeah, they got a lot of good options here. Start of the fate phase, you can select one of the following effects to apply: +1 attack or +1 damage. All right, so I really like these guys. And every 5 models in the unit, you can take one thunderhammer, and these can take up 5 to 10 man squads. So that's a lot better than the what's it called? Blade guard. Like they have like the same swords as the blade guard, but they can actually take better shooting weapons, and they can take 10 man instead of 6 mans. Uh, so I think you definitely probably bring at least one, if not two, of these guys squads. Uh, if you're going Black Templar. We got the Emperor's Champion. Once per phase, when attack is allocated to this model, saving throw is failed. You can change the damage to 0. Alright, so he's got a 0 damage on himself once per phase. That's nice. It's per phase and not turned. That's gonna make this guy really difficult to deal with. This time model makes a melee attack that targets a character. Add one to the wound roll, so +1 to wound against characters. And he's a leader. He can join all these same units. We got the Castellan. Uh, oh, he's just a lieutenant. All right. So combi weapon, heavy bolt pistol, chainsword, power weapon. Gives his unit lethal hits. Eligible to shoot and declare charging turns if to fell back. Uh, looks pretty much the same as a regular lieutenant. So I'm not sure what he's getting that they don't. Maybe maybe there's a weapon option here the regular lieutenant doesn't get. Uh, and he's tactic, so he's basically the Primaris lieutenant. He can join pretty much all the Primaris units. We got the Marshal, combi weapon, plasma pistol, mastercraft power weapon. He's also tacticus, so this will be so he's basically your captain, Primaris captain. He says the right to battle, so do the CP0, finest hour, 3 attacks, devastating wounds. So there must be a slight different weapon option or something here, because other than that, they look like these guys are having the exact same rules as or maybe they have less weapon options. I don't know. The weapon options are really the only thing different from the guys in the Marine book, because these rules are the exact same. Then these are we're not even look at these. These are the same as the ones in the Marine book, except you just have the option for the multi-metal on all of them. That's the only difference on all these Black Templar vehicles as opposed to the Marine variant. You just get the option for the multi-melta, which is nice to have, but if you've seen the Marine review, there's no point just going back completely over these whole vehicles. They're the exact same, except you have the option for the multi-melta. So that's it for Black Templars. They aren't a lot different than regular Marines. Just give you access to a couple slightly different units, and you can take the vows instead of the doctrines if you want to switch detachments. So I think Black Templars are fine. They're just a lot closer to regular Marines than some of the other variant chapters. Just in my opinion, it's just if you really want to tech into their thing, you just are better against Psychic, and you can't take Psychic. But that's it for Black Templars, and I will catch you guys next time.